Great, wonderful. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Saturdays for Sustainability Learning. And today is session number 105. I'm sorry, this is couldn't update it. But yeah, so today is session 105 for us. And if you're wondering if you're joining for the first time or watching this video for the first time, so I'll just quickly, within a minute, I'll try to explain what this initiative is all about. So this is Saturdays for Sustainability Learning. We are connecting as a group, as a mastermind group to understand the concept in a holistic manner. So this you can consider as a mastermind group where we are connecting with each other to find out the solutions, right? So after investing 1 hour, so you can expect these things, that is learning something new, networking, learning opportunities, and thought leadership, of course. Then idea for this is DIKW pyramid. You might be knowing data, information, knowledge, wisdom. What we lack today is not data, not information. Even I would say not knowledge now. Only thing that is required is wisdom, and that can be captured, acquired only with experience and the person, human. So that's why this is what we are doing. And for that discussion, question and answer is the best way to learn. So please feel free to ask, add your points, add your insights. So this is non-judgmental group, and please feel free to share your thoughts as well. All right. So just one reminder, if you have registered, then you might have received all the calendar invites and WhatsApp group links. So if you haven't, so please do so. It's free of cost and only you have to do it one time. So if you have done, you can ignore that. All right. So today we are connecting for one very interesting topic, which is making websites sustainable. In today's time, when we talk about sustainability, sustainable development, of course, the action on ground is something that is quite, people can relate to it or they can understand it, they can see it. But one very important aspect, which is the website or the digital footprint, what we can call, there is a lot of issues, and to understand that and also to understand what are the solutions, we have today Siddhesh Wagle. So thank you so much, Siddhesh, who is a founder of SystemsTree and who also works in sustainable technology, sustainable climate tech. So he's one of the experts. So without wasting any time, so over to you, Siddhesh. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for
thank,
joining.
thank you, Dhananjay, for the introduction. I will just share my screen and I will actually jump into the presentation. So yeah, 1 minute. I'll just present. Okay, so uh, this is particularly focused on websites because many people make websites, but it also encompasses the whole web, which is everything, right? You watch Netflix on your mobile, so that is not a website, but it travels to the internet. So websites is just one aspect of the internet, if you can think, right? So we'll get into that slowly. So yeah, let's begin. Uh, okay, so this is today's agenda. We are going to look at why sustainable websites we need. What is the need for sustainable websites? As in, if we are making websites, why not sustainable? That's the question we're going to ask. When exactly is a website sustainable? So what's the question, right? Like I can say that having no website, it's sustainability. But if you want a website, then how you can say that that website is sustainable? So we'll get into that question also. Then, of course, we will actually do some hands-on practice on, if we want to create a sustainable website, what are small best practices we will get into. We can't get into a lot of details because it becomes too technical, but just a glimpse of that world of making website. And we have Dhananjay, who has started one initiative and creating his website. So we'll see that demo of how we have started that journey and how we are going to make that website sustainable. And then we will look at few resources for inspiration. So yeah, let's begin. Um, okay, so before we start, I would like you to answer a few questions. So if you can swipe the QR code, you will get into the poll, or you can join via this link if you can't access via the QR code. But those who are not able to access, the poll, you can orally tell us, and maybe Dhananjay can type the answers. Yeah, Dhananjay, that's fine.
Yes, yes, sure, sure. And I'll also
So
put that link in the chat. So
yeah,
those who are not able to access it, just a minute.
so I have started activated the poll, and so the first question is, what do you think when you think about websites? So you can also orally, if you can talk, if you don't want to answer via the link. So anyone, Murli sir, Arun, anyone, please feel free to talk. Anything. It's not about sustainability. Anything. What do you think? Why there are websites, or when you think about? Hi, Indu. Thanks for joining. I guess you
Websites,
are after. Yeah.
websites provide information
Mm,
on someone or some product or some process of an entity, which helps people know the capability, and also it helps. I mean, rest of the things are that it can be for marketing, it can be for information, it can be for communication, etc. It's
right.
more of a communication channel which enables people to interact
Right.
and also get a product or a service which they desire.
Right. Perfect. That's what people make websites for sure. Anything else? Anyone? Indu, you want to? You are traveling, I think. So, uh, so uh,
I'm returning back home.
okay, okay,
I'm listening. I'm listening.
okay.
I'll
Yeah,
say.
yeah, sure, sure, sure. So, of course. So the yeah, sure. Yeah, please answer. What do you think when
Yeah,
you think about it?
a website basically the earlier were, console. Now it is all client server architecture, cloud,
Mm, mm,
whatever you say. So
right,
to run these things, I mean, once you're saying client server architecture, the number of transactions which take place. So obviously your carbon footprint is increasing.
right.
And the cloud, whatever you're saying, your servers, so they consume energy because of the
Mm,
servers you have now. Even data centers are coming up.
yeah, yeah.
So and you want to enable your chatbots or whatever AI. So all these are consuming energy. The
Mm,
more
true.
simpler you make them, I mean, so how you transfer data, how much, I mean, the number of transactions being done, all this count.
Right. So my question to you is, when you think about website, have you started thinking in those lines only now as a sustainability expert, or because you work in this field, or uh,
Even earlier I was thinking, because even before I came into this field, I was about to run my own website actually.
mm-hmm,
So I mean, when I started learning, so that point of time, client server architecture was new. Web applications, I mean Java, then your
right,
.NET. So how it runs and how these things. After that, cloud came into picture. Once
mm,
cloud came into picture, when I started understanding cloud, then I thought like, okay, so how these people, where are they maintaining this entire data? So
right,
when you look at the security aspects, then these cables, how this data passes through,
right,
so under the sea. Now all these aspects, when you start understanding, then I felt, okay, these consume a lot of energy. It is not simple that what we look and, I mean,
right,
what you see is what you get, kind of. Not the kind of thing,
right,
but behind there's a lot of thing which is going on. How these
yeah,
servers, how they are, so
true,
the entire complex things, how what people understand. So when you get into that, then you understand ki, okay, this is not as simple as it looks as an end user. So that
so
way I
yeah,
started. Later I started understanding the nonsense of this thing, how it
mm-hmm.
works and all.
So great, thank you for this, and you have covered most of the aspects. So great, great. So you have
Thank you.
just given a glimpse of what I'm going to cover. So thank you for this. So as even Murli sir noted, it's the information, the credibility, or whatever the company or an individual wants to communicate to the world, they can communicate via a website, right? And the sustainability aspect we are going to talk about mainly, but why we need websites, right? So that is the first aspect. So now what is happening, I will get into the details, but people are create people want to communicate something and they want to do it quickly. So they just create a website, right? quickly. So the sustainability aspect doesn't come into. And now with AI, as you said, it's like it's so easy, becomes so easy to create such thing. So yeah, so the next question, I have 4 questions now for you guys. So yeah, so I think you already answered that question. So we don't have to, but if anyone else wants to talk about, why do you think making websites sustainable matters? You can either type or you can talk about anyone who wants to add to what has been already spoken or listened.
So can I add?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I think it's similar to what we are seeing as a e-waste. How I'll compare it is, generally now if you talk about any person, we have at least 1 or 2 mobiles or maybe 1 or 2 chargers or the outdated or not working earphones. So that is somewhere in our cupboard, somewhere in our shelves. So that is there. In a similar way, when we are talking about websites, so generally what happen is people are creating this, but they are not optimizing it. So whether it is
Right.
required or not, so maybe updating it with respect to the energy requirement and all. So
Right.
that kind of maintenance is not happening for the websites, and
Right.
that is similarly alarming as the problem with e-waste. For e-waste, we
Right.
know, but for websites, that is something that is not uh, in focus for most of the people.
Right. Correct. So you can type your e-waste thing here so that it gets reflected, but if
Sure.
you want. Anyone else? So that's right, and there are a lot of aspects that we are also slightly going to talk. If given a chance, I can talk entire day. But anyone else? What do you think? Why it matters, other than what Dhananjay said?
It is precisely the information availability. Many times information overload is there.
Right.
Too much of information, unwanted or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So browsing, going through this
Right.
and trying to fish out or mining this information has its own energy aspects, time aspects,
Mm-hmm.
customer interface issues,
Mm.
and every other aspect related to the sustainability part, apart
Right.
from energy and other things.
Yes. And
So
thank
it
you.
becomes
Yeah. Sorry. Mm-hmm.
it becomes important. The sustainability in a broader term has to
Yes.
include the meeting the requirements of the stakeholders.
Mm. Yes.
So that stakeholder may be a customer, maybe the government authority or whoever it is. It has to present the details in a manner which is easy to access, clear, and of course all other aspects related to energy or information overload to be
Right.
taken care of.
Perfect. So you exactly said what I'm going to talk later. It's not just the carbon element or the CO2 release, but the other aspects of the larger aspects of society, how it is impacting, how information overload is impacting. We are now seeing how ChatGPT and all is impacting school students. They are not able to think on. So it's a larger issue, not just the carbon element. So sustainable, we are going to look at the exact definition of web sustainability, but sustainable encompasses all these aspects, not just the CO2 emissions. Yeah, so I have one more question. Okay, so this is a question just to have what is just an estimate, rough estimate. What do you think an average website releases? Is it between all this or more than 0.5 gram?
Should be more than 0.5. I mean,
Okay.
to my listing idea.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
Obviously, it is more than 0.5.
Okay. Okay, so maybe let's consider this option and we'll talk exactly how much is it later. But just keep in mind that we think it's more than 0.5 gram. And I also feel it is 0.5 grams. There are a lot of statistics coming out, but it's of course it's heavy, right? We feel okay, 0.4 gram, 0.3, so even if it's 0.1, let's assume even if it's 0.1, 0.1 is huge. This is per page visit, right? This is like when you access a website for the first time, it is going to release that much carbon. So it is huge. We feel 0.1 in our hands, it is small, but when it comes to millions and millions of people accessing websites, it's like too much, right? So that we are going to look what exactly it is. And just one question, just to start the workshop, like what is the most effective thing you can do to reduce your website's footprint? If given a choice of doing one thing, what you will do?
Not to have a website.
That's the extreme zero in, and what do you think the worst thing is to make a website unsustainable? What do you think is the heaviest element that you can have on your website that will make it very unsustainable?
Having video posted over
Yeah,
there.
video. True. Video will make it highly unsustainable because videos are heavy. It's made up of images, series of images. So it becomes, so we are going to look at this. Okay, so let's dive into the presentation again. Okay, so this is, now I'm going to show you some stats. Okay, that we already spoken, but we'll look at the stats, right? This is the current reality of web. Okay, this might not be exactly latest, but it comes to around 2000 in the year 2022 or 23 when this must have been taken. But if you break down, before going to the breakdown, the answer was 0.5. I feel it's 0.5, but this has been taken by website Carbon. They must have taken some rough estimate of 10,000 websites or 1,000 websites, and they've taken an average. So for them, it's 0.36 grams, right? Now, this is mostly an average, a mean. So huge websites like maybe Amazon and this and that might be having maybe more than 1 gram, more than 2 grams of carbon, right? And it's a website like mine, because I made it sustainable, it's like 0.02 grams. Because I thought about sustainability, it's 0.02 grams. And now we are working on Dhananjay's website, so we will also try to make it less than 0.2 grams. So yeah, Dhananjay, you're ready for that? Okay, so
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. So if you see, the answer is here 0.36. Few carbon calculators give it maybe more than 0.5. Some give it, but it is more than 0.4, 0.3, of course, right? But you see the interesting stats. If a website has 10,000 monthly page views, that is going to be 43 kg CO2, equivalent per year. 43 is like if it is running on a coal data center, it is burning 40, or it is burning coal, right? So that much kg of carbon is getting released. So that's huge. And if you look at the pie chart, right, which is next to us, it is showing what is released. So it's not just the data centers where the website is located, but the website is getting access through networks. A lot of, like already been mentioned by Ashok, where it's getting transferred via these fiber optics cables through the sea, undersea, and it is coming to the user devices. So it not just include that, it also should include the embodiment cost of all this, right? About the devices, about the cloud, the server, the RAM, the SSDs, everything, how the servers are built. So it has all this embodiment cost also, and also the actual cost of that website getting executed. So is this clear? Should I move ahead? Just use the glimpse of how vast it is. If we imagine, I get sometimes panic attack thinking about the scale of it, but this is the scale of it, right? Okay, so this is the another data produced by Sustainable Web Design. The URL I will provide. Dhananjay will share it later. But if the question we ask, where is all the carbon getting released, right? As I said, it is the embodiment as well as the operational cost of data centers, the embodiment and the operational cost of networks, the embodied and operational cost of user devices. So many things are involved. It's not just our device or the cloud. There are so many interlay devices that are involved. So you have to consider those also while you calculate. And these people who provide these tools, we are going to see one of the tools when we calculate the websites. They include all this stuff. They take this into consideration when they calculate the exact figure. So when we say 0.36 gram, they must have included all these factors on an average. Yeah, Dhananjay.
Embodied means while creating it, right?
Yes.
First time.
Yes.
Means,
So whatever mining of those resources, the silicon, whatever the chips and all they have for making that device, that is what it is.
okay. Means simple, just relating it to capex and opex,
Yes.
right?
Only whoever is from sustainability expert can. I don't know whether e-waste they have included, but embodiment I don't think e-waste they include, right? When disposal, no. But if it is also included, I don't know how it is, how much it would. But how the difficulty is in the calculation, right? Because I might open the website for the first time and I may never open it. So my embodiment cost should only be taken while I open that website. So once I dispose my device, it has nothing to do with the website. So this whole philosophical questions can also arise. But yeah. Is it clear? Should I move ahead? Yeah. Okay. So let's get into the exact definition of web sustainability. I'm an invited expert in W3C, where we are working on these guidelines and we work on these definitions and what to, so the definition that web sustainability W3C has come up with is this: an approach to designing, developing, and operating digital products and services that leads to a web that is clean, efficient, open, honest, regenerative, and resilient as possible. So whatever Murli sir talked about, this definition is trying to encompass all these aspects. It's not just about the emissions, it is also about the planet, people, prosperity, right? So it has to be clean, honest, efficient, regenerative, open, resilient. And we have gone further and operationalized these terms now. What exactly clean means? Clean means hosted using low carbon or renewable energy. So we exactly go into the details, what exactly it is, right? But this definition is very important because now we are not just thinking about the 1 minute. Yeah. So we are not just thinking about the emissions. We are also thinking about a larger aspect of while creating website. Is it really useful? Why we are creating it? Is it damaging the ecosystem or the community? Are we passing misinformation through that? These all aspects also are involved or incorporated into the system. Any questions, or you have any insights when you look at this? Anyone can contribute, or you feel that something is missing that should be there? Yeah, Dhananjay.
Yeah, can you please tell about this W3C? What is it?
Yeah, so it's a web. So I can just open the link and show. It's a web consumerism group. So basically they come up with various guidelines. So before coming up with web sustainability guidelines, they had come up with web accessibility guidelines, that how to make web accessible. So now there are this team of people where I'm also involved. We have these regular meetings where we are trying to build these guidelines. So now these guidelines are mostly built, but they are still in the draft mode. They are not yet published. We are published, but it is in the draft mode. So we are basically talking about 4 aspects here: the user experience design. When you are making a website sustainable, how to think about user experience design, how to think about website development, web development, how to think about hosting infrastructure and systems, and how to think about business strategy and product management. Like Murli sir said, right? What is the strategy? Why you are creating it? Whether it is needed for the stakeholders? How are the stakeholders thinking? All these aspects needs to come here. And each guideline has success criteria to pass and fail. And we are also building the impact framework to actually measure this, right? To identify, access, disclose, review, so all this. So there are different. So you can have a look. Then you can share it later with the group. I will share all these links and resources.
Sure.
But yeah.
Got it.
Thank you for that question. Okay. Yeah. So this is clear. So we are looking at sustainability from a very larger perspective, not just emissions. That's what we want to make it clear here, right? Okay. So let's have some fun and let's actually do practical and try to make Dhananjay's website sustainable. So he started yesterday. and he's learning in the process. So he will also share his experience, what he's learning in that process. So he's doing it for the first time and he's enjoying that process. Okay. So what all aspects are needed to make a website sustainable, right? The first and foremost is that you have to select a green web hosting provider, right? The way to search for a green hosting website provider is there is this, 1 minute. There is this Green Web Foundation who have released this directory of hosting providers who they have tested are green. Green in the sense they use renewable energy or carbon credits to make them carbon neutral like that. So now Dhananjay has selected Hostinger. So before selecting Hostinger, we checked whether Hostinger is part of this directory. It is, right? So they say that their technology runs on green energy, right? So these people test it regularly, and if you see, you also get a badge. So if this is my website, and if you see, I have added this badge of green hosting because I am hosted on Hoston, which is a German-based hosting provider, and they are green in the sense they use renewable energy. So now my website, if you see, it releases this much carbon, and it is better than 97% of the websites globally, and it is releasing 0.01 grams of carbon, right? And we are going to see how we can achieve this. It is possible, but people are not doing it because either first there is no awareness. Even if there is awareness, there is some hesitation as to why we should do it. It's a similar question as to consuming plastic. It's same as that, right? Is there, so why not? Okay. So is this clear about the hosting? Any questions about what hosting is, or should I get into that, or you know what hosting? Hosting is basically where your website resides. That is the hosting provider, where your server is located, right?
So,
Second major,
Siddhesh, can we say it like this? Because for us, we understand with the physical matter. Maybe if we talk about stock, like we are talking about, let's say something we can touch, like let's say books. Let's talk about books. So, to store the book, a storehouse is required, right? So there is a storehouse and where we store all this material. So similar to that, whatever data we can see on the website, that has to be stored somewhere.
Yes.
And that we can call as a hosting. Is it?
Yes, perfect.
Right?
So yes, perfect answer. So your website's content, images, your text, your script, your programs are stored in a server. Which server is stored in a data center, because the data center is a lot of servers together. They have a lot of machines, right? So you can say that there are multiple laptops without a screen in a server, which is in a host data center, right?
Right.
So that web, when you I removed that slide, but when you put an URL that goes to that hosting and it pulls the data from there, whatever is required, and it shows in your laptop, right? So that's the thing. So second is optimize images, because most of the times we'll see now people just drag and drop the images and put it there. Now AI generate heavy images because AI is trained on so many websites which are unsustainable. So now AI generating tools are also unsustainable, right? AI is not trained on sustainable websites. It's trained on unsustainable websites. So it itself is creating unsustainable websites. So we'll see how it is doing that. And the first major thing, as Dhananjay said, you have to optimize images. You have to make them. You have to make the videos. You don't need videos. Don't put it. Mostly, you don't need an animation. Then why to put it? So such things you can think about, right? We'll see how optimize. Third is avoid too many scripts. Scripts means the programs that runs, because again, that programs is also data, so it is also costly. Then we'll not get into the too much technicalities, but just wanted to show a few aspects. One of the things I suggest, which I suggested Dhananjay also, which we'll see now, is that avoid using generative AI for content and image generation as much as possible. Because it's as Murli sir said, you are trying to pass the message which you want to say. So it should come from the heart and not some AI producing it. Of course, you are going to give it prompt, but again, it is going to create something which is not coming from your soul. Then, and the website should pass the message you want to give to the world, like you are communicating, like we communicate, right? So avoid as much as possible. Use only if you want to correct or edit the grammar. And there also, I will say use local LLMs, which runs on your laptop and not ChatGPT or Gemini, right? Best website would be a static website. Static website is where there is no dynamic content getting generated, but it's there on the server. It's very lightweight, right? So that is the best way. So yeah, so let's begin and let's look at one thing that I wanted to show. Okay, so we started building Dhananjay's website yesterday. Okay, Dhananjay took the hosting provider, then he took the URL, he purchased it, right? And then he asked the AI to generate a website. So I had to share the video with you. Just 1 minute.
Yeah. And I can share what is a typical process because I am not from technical background.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so I
you can share it now.
always feared about creating a website and how to do that. But now I thought it's time to create one website so that all my work will be under one website where I can have everything, all the posts and all. So that's why I wanted to create a website. So initial, to be frank, currently the process of creating it is really simple. So initially what we did was purchasing the domain and purchasing the what we call the other thing, domain and
Hosting provider.
hosting provider, right? So we purchased that, and one of the good thing that happened was while purchasing like hosting or the hosting services, so it asked me where I want to locate, means which of the hosting provider I want to select, where my data would be stored, whether there is 100% recycling, not recycling, sorry, renewable energy available or not. So as per that, selected the hosting. And the later part is about creating that website with the AI. It was really simple for me to create the website, but there are many
So
pros and
Dhananjay,
cons as well.
before going, let's see the video of that,
Yeah,
the
sure.
website that. So we have saved a video of the AI. So this was the. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, yes, we can.
The video, right? You can see the video. Yeah.
No, video
No.
is.
Okay. What did I share then? No, I shared the video, right? This is a video. Can you see?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this was the. If you see again, this was the website that was created by AI. So this is like totally this looks very professional, right? So that's good. But the thing is, it added this video also on the top. And Dhananjay was really impressed because it is impressive. It is giving you such a wonderful, beautiful website, right? But if Dhananjay, you remember how I think we didn't capture it, but how much grams this was releasing or how much weight this page carried? I think more than MB or something, right? Or more
Right.
than 6. Yeah.
Almost 1 MB or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. So 1 MB, my page is around 75 KB, right? 1024 KB is 1 MB. So each and every KB adds to the grams of CO2 release. That way you can relate, right? Each page, the page weight adds to the carbon emissions, right? Now, there are the sustainability experts I don't want to get into today, but there are multiple aspects to what AI does. AI is first of all giving you something that it feels is right for you. You feel it is impressive, but you get connected to it. But is it really what you wanted? That's the question. And if you create a website from scratch, how it will look, which is passing. So that all aspects can come. But leave everything apart. Just look at the emissions. It is creating so much of emissions, right? It looks wonderful. It has created something for us. It has given us a template, but it is an unsustainable template. If 10,000 people visit this, then so many trees you will cut. For example, if you look at, we just stop again. Yeah. So if you sharing. Yeah. So if you look at this my website again, and if you go to website carbon, right? this shows that for 10,000 visits for SystemsTree, I am releasing 1.66 kg of CO2 equivalent for 10,000 visits. Now, there are certain websites which will do this for one visit only. Just imagine. So I am, at least in my case, it's 10,000. So, but still it is heavy, right? Even if I reduce 1 gram, 0.01 gram, that makes a difference. So earlier mine was 0.02 grams. I worked really hard to bring it to 0.01 grams, right? So if you are really thinking about sustainability, you will do all those things, right? And this is kind of taking one tree away, right? In a year, like it will need one tree to absorb this much carbon released in a year. So that's all you can look at and think about, because you already are into sustainability, but this is web sustainability. Yeah. Okay, so now let's actually do the practicals and see how this has happened, right? So I will just open the website of Dhananjay.
Yeah, there is one
Oh,
question from Ekta. Which AI was
yeah.
used for creating the website, and
So
what is the prompt to be given so that it is worthy videos and sustainable?
yeah.
So Siddhesh, you
So
want to take it?
yeah, I will first, Dhananjay, you would be able to answer about the prompt because you did it, but
Right.
and
So
I avoid using online AI as much as possible. So what I will say is hosting all these hosting providers now, because there is competition and they serve in a capitalist society. Now everyone has come up with AI features, right? So they claim that now. So now what is happening when you're calling hosting AI, right? They must be calling ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude, depending on what is their contract. So we don't know which AI is getting used behind the scenes, because Hostinger is giving us that AI. They must be calling some API of another company which is providing that, right? But yeah, about the prompt, Dhananjay, what prompt you give?
yeah, so actually, to be frank, I didn't give any specific prompt to it. I just shared the website name, which was in our mind, that is VUCA not. So VUCA is, we all know, the VUCA word, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And not is from like astronaut. Not is a traveler or explorer. So someone or the organization who want to explore into VUCA. So that's it. That's it. I gave it, and the kind of website that it generated. So that was the case. So I didn't give any specific prompt, and somehow the AI integration in all these websites is now such a way that it creates all the website. So that's the thing.
So this is now an AI generated website, right? Again, you tried doing.
No, this is not AI
No,
generated.
this is not AI. This is not AI. But I think the theme is the Hostinger default theme is
Yeah.
they showed that AI, but we'll look at it. But now if let's take to start with, let's see what's the carbon footprint of this website, right? So I'm just putting on a website called Beacon, and it's calculating now how much is it. Meanwhile, if you have any questions or you want to talk in between, please free to.
So Siddhesh, you can also guide means this process so that we can check any website's carbon footprint. So
Yeah,
which
so
tool we are using and how to do that.
I given the resources at the end, what all resources you can use. So that I will show. So just imagine now Dhananjay has, by default created something. He didn't have a process of web sustainability in mind because we wanted to show this. Otherwise, we would have gone through that process, me and Dhananjay. I would have helped him to go through that process. But now, an average person who doesn't know about web sustainability, who's not serious about web sustainability, creates a website or by his own, because using AI now has become easy, right? Even most of the website developers don't know about web sustainability. The awareness, people like me are trying to do that awareness, in that like people in sustainability are trying to raise awareness about other things in plastic or in emissions, carbon emissions and all this stuff. So here I am, and there is also, by the way, since you are aware about climate risk, there is also something called as digital risk. So where we can communicate the digital sustainability aspects. But the thing we want to communicate is this, right? With no awareness about web sustainability, we create a jazzy website, right? It consumes now, in this case, it is like the size is 1.24 MB. Dhananjay can, with the same look and feel, he can bring that website to 60 KB or 80 KB. He doesn't need 1.2, same content. what he has to just do is to reduce the size of images. He will bring a lot of, he can reduce the carbon almost emissions by 30%, 40%. Right? And if you go down, this is the segregation it shows. Right? Look at this. Images are making the most of it. It's like very close to 1 MB. And then the scripts, because there are certain scripts that it has loaded, but most is this. So even if we bring this down to maybe 150 KB or 250 KB or 200 KB or 100 KB, right? It will reduce the carbon emissions from maybe 70% or 80%. Right? So let's do one thing where we will show how to optimize images. There are many ways, but I will show you one simple way. Okay, so this is a tool called Swoosh.app. Right? Now let's see how big is this image. Right? If I save this image, I think I will have to share my entire screen to show you 1 minute.
And this is where generally the problem happen. Okay, so what I'll share my experience. So while creating this website, generally we have the photos with us, right? Images with us. And generally these are really small, like 1 MB. So we think that, okay, it's only of 1 MB or 1.5 MB. And that's how we try to upload it. And that's what I did. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah. So I will just show one how much is the size first. Yeah, can you see this window?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so if you look at this image that we were talking about, right? If you look at the size, this is 669 KB. So it is making the most of the 900 KB, right? This image. It's 669 KB. And if you see this image, this is now really low, but this was more than 1 MB when we loaded it. So this theme has somehow optimized it. But initially when we tried, it was showing more than 1 MB. Right? So let's see how much we can reduce this image without hampering the quality of the image, right? If you have to take efforts to do that. So I just have to drag. This is an open source tool. It runs on your browser. You just have to drag and drop it here, right? And now on the left hand, it shows the original part.
And the right, it's not showing. It's only showing.
Sorry. Yeah, I had to reshare. Wait, I will again close. Stop. Yeah. Okay. So this is an open source tool, right? Swoosh.com, Swoosh.app, and it runs on your browser. All you have to do is you have to drag and drop the image you want to. Also, there are plugins available like on WordPress where you can it automatically does this. But I like this process because it gives you that agency to control the images. So I'm going to drag and drop the image here. Right on the left hand side, it is showing the original image. So Dhananjay has cropped the faces. That's why this patch is there. But ignore that. But look at the left hand side. It is showing the original image, and the right hand side. When I'm dragging this, it is the new image, right? So now currently it has reduced it by 42% because it is using JPEG. For websites, we generally recommend WebP or AVI formats. I generally use AVI format because by default it will, and even WebP, it will almost optimize 30% of it, right? So if I use AVI, it will come down to, let's see how much it comes down to. On the bottom right, you can see the figure, right? It is coming to 155 KB. From 650 something, it came down to 155. Now I will go further. I will ask, do I still need 155 KB? I need so much quality for a small image because I'm using a small image. I'm not using a big resolution image, right? To run it on a big TV, like an LG TV. I'm not doing that. I'm running it on a laptop. So do I need this much quality? No, I can still go down further and reduce the quality and see what it makes the difference or not. Okay. So see, I reduce the quality and let's see how much it is coming down to. On the bottom right, you can observe here. It came down to 42%. It reduced by 94%. I don't know how much 94% will make it to carbon emissions reduction, but you make the guess how much it will, maybe 60%.
Can you please share the quality difference in quality?
Yeah. As well? So look at this. No difference. Hardly any difference. because your image is very small, anyway this size is not going to make much of a difference. If you zoom it, then it might make difference, right? So if I have this, let's zoom on your face, right? Now see now it makes a difference. So if you have something big image to show, like for example Netflix HD, if you watch it on a mobile, even if it doesn't make a difference, it is not adding to the quality, because on a small mobile you don't need HD. So you are emitting so much of emissions, right? Unnecessarily. So for mobiles you don't need high quality images. But for small you can't see the difference that much.
Correct. So this
Okay.
classic case, right? 94% lesser size of the image
Yes.
without any difference to the quality or the value that it is.
Right. So now let's see what happens if I download this, okay, and let's upload this new image. 1 minute, I'll just rename this. You can't see my screen, but I'm just editing. I'm renaming the name of group discussion optimized. Okay, .avr. Now my format is .avr, right? So now I will open the hosting. Yeah, so this is where the website is hosted. This is a Hostinger AI theme that Dhananjay is using, which is a theme which is given to everyone by default. So Dhananjay has taken this, right? And now what we are going to do is we are going to go to 1 minute. Pages. Yeah, so this is the front page. Okay, so I can edit now. This is WordPress, which is a tool which I can edit.
So currently we are just replacing the same image with the updated one.
There are lots of things, but first we have started with images. We can do a lot of stuff to make it sustainable. So we are going to replace this image. So I am also not used to this Hostinger tool. So I'm also doing this for the first time. So let me see. And I'm not a full-time website developer. Okay, so pardon me if I take some time. So 1 minute. Dhananjay, you remember you changed an image in this tool?
I changed it with that Hostinger, no, the Eliminator.
Oh yeah, I'm on Eliminator only.
No,
just
this
check.
is
okay. No, this is Eliminator. Just give me one. I'm just checking where they allow to edit. I use a different tool. That's why. Here I can. Okay, so I can edit. Okay, so now I am going to replace this image. Can you see? So I am going to replace this image with an optimized. Where did I save the optimized image? 1 minute, I have to save it again.
Hello. Siddhesh, I guess we have lost you. Can you hear it?
Yeah, found it. I found it. 1 minute. So yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think something happened with them. So see, now I have added this image, right? The one we optimized. Now it is 41 KB. The original image which was there, it is 669 KB.
Right.
Getting? Now let's add this and see what difference does it make. So I'm going to replace and I'm going to publish. Right? And now I'm going to go again to the website and refresh it. If it is not pulling from the cache, then it is going to show the new image. I'm just going to see whether it is the same image. Yeah, it is the same image. And if I look at the size of it and I save it on my device, yeah, it is coming out to be 41 KB. Okay. So now let's put it again in the digital beacon.
So in this, we have to just paste any website, right? So
Yeah,
just
you
go
can
to
paste any.
digitalbeacon.co
So you when you talk about website, it's not the entire website it is calculating. It is just calculating for the page. So now it is only doing for the home page. It will not do it for all the pages. You have to individually try to optimize. So just imagine what was it earlier. If you go to the history, look at this. One minute, huh? Yeah, look at this. Like here, yeah. This was earlier. We replaced just one image and we have brought down the emissions by, because the size has been reduced. Look at the emissions. How much is it? It is 0.50% emission reduction.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Just one change.
Yeah, just one change. Any doubts? Because then we just wanted to show one aspect of our session. We can't go into the much of the details, but this is one aspect you can work on. Any questions or any insights you got, or any revelations? Any wow moment?
Is it okay if I share my, my perspective?
Sure. Yeah, please do.
Even, as we see in this ISO in environment, this thing, management, the same way, in this one also, we can consider from cradle to grave. So when I
Yes.
said cradle to grave, as you said, the first thing is hosting. So this reminds me of the first time when I designed my website. Later, I moved to HSC completely at that point of time. So then, internet was very slow. So we used to, we never used to go for these videos or images which take, and any animated, as you said, user interface that we used to reduce, and these kind of steps where you, because your FTP, again, you have to upload them, and where you're choosing your server. If your server is somewhere very far from the place, if my end users are in India and my server is in the USA, so half the globe it has to travel.
Right.
So
just to touch upon that before we move ahead, like you talked about that's why the importance, like people have to consider something called as content delivery networks, wherein the actual website is somewhere else, but they bring it to a server closer to you, so that every time you access it comes from there and not from the main server.
Yes.
So yeah, continue.
Yeah, then the colors which we use, like nowadays it is good that even on the mobiles we have dark mode. So obviously dark mode consumes less power. So bright colors, this thing I'm just trying to summarize like what I faced or how we used to think.
Yeah, that was sustainability thinking. That's what you did. Yeah, great.
And kind of browsers, because we used to test on different kinds of browsers. Some browsers we had issues, like so the kind of browser you're using, certain browsers they are very good, like they cache everything, and they every time they do not interact with the server, so that the number of times, but again it depends upon the user. Every time people, if they clear the cache, we can't do anything. Next time it used to take time. So there's like as an end user, as a developer, both sides have seen things that pardon.
Yeah, continue.
These things we do it, but what I observe is, once the website is down in the sense, once they stop using it, this data does not get deleted on the servers. That is one thing which can be, obviously, because see, until you keep the data you have to maintain it, and so data deletion is one thing where it has to be considered. So we can't say anything on the data. That is one part of it.
And
please.
Continue, please.
So, whatever user interface components are there, which can be reused, the open source helps a lot. More people use it. If it is the same everywhere, then it becomes easier. If you take Android, the same thing can be used in many places. So many things become easier. You need not every time you develop something, you're actually consuming energy. So that cycle actually reduces, effort reduces. Open source, that is what happens. Everyone adds up to the already built one, and they make changes to it. So that actually helps. So the more it is open source, the better resources are efficiently used. This is my perspective.
No, perfect. You have touched upon all the major, and one aspect that you which I might have missed or would have missed. So thank you for that. is that when you make a website sustainable, right, like 0.2, 0.02 grams or 0.01 gram, and you are making it very light with no scripting, no programs running, right? You are making sure that it is going to open in almost all the devices. Even a person in a village with a very 2G network, or very not having enough network, the site will open there. So you are by sustainability, you are making it accessible also to all the people. So it is also tackling the aspect of the people that we saw in web sustainability guidelines. So thank you for adding that. I might have missed it otherwise. Okay, so thank you, Ashok. So just moving ahead, you can check out the web sustainability guidelines. There are a lot of things are happening, and we are like pushing it. Let's release it soon. So we are hoping that it will get released soon. Okay, so Dhananjay, you mentioned resources. So I have kept these resources here, and people can check out. And these are some great books on the right, and Beacon and Website Carbon you can use for measuring your carbon emissions, right? And there is a Green Web Foundation who are working on all this, how to calculate web SCI, how to calculate software carbon intensity of web. So all these things are happening. A lot of things are happening. There are some interesting, inspiring projects like Low Carbon. If you check, this website maintains. Oh, one minute. Yeah. Yeah. So this website maintains all the sustainable websites. In the sense, people who are really working towards sustainability, it gives a glimpse of how those websites. So you can take inspiration from this showcase of those websites. So even with let's just check very small website, like let's take this 0.02 website example. So it is such a cool website. It's not, it looks heavy, but it's not, right? So you can take inspiration from all this and try to build. So we will soon release Dhananjay's new website and show how much minimalistic we are making. That's the idea. So let's see. So you can take it. I will share these resources with you. And one final question I have. So if you can open the questionnaire again. Where's my question? Yeah. Okay. So this now that you have understood all these aspects, what you will do other than making, because most of you are not making websites, but other than that, what you can do is we can discuss now. Just brainstorm on it. First thing I look at, from the community is the awareness aspect, which I'm trying to do, but more people do it would be great. But yeah, anyone will like to add? Dhananjay, you want, or anyone else can add?
Yeah, for me, first thing is many times having data on Drive or maybe on emails. So many times it's repeating same data, same files, multiple copies. And as we clean our house, so in the same way, we don't clean our emails or our Drive. So that is something I guess I can start doing it because
Digital cleanup.
digital cleanup, yes. And I guess the initial point that I was making, so comparing it with the e-waste, e-waste we generally get the idea. So what is e-waste and how it is getting problem. But this kind of issue is not, I guess we don't get visualization of it. So that's something I'll start doing it.
Yes. Anyone else want to talk about this? How we can contribute?
Siddhesh, it was
Yes.
interesting discussion. What I thought was, since this is a new concept,
Right.
and many people may not be aware of it, the gravity of the issue or the sensitivity of the issue, what could be done, in my view, is more of a suggestion, right? like some of these people who are computer science students and website generators, you can ask them to choose maybe some 50 websites of
Right.
big companies are who are well renowned
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
who proclaim themselves to be
Right.
sustainability focused organizations. Do an exercise on this, create a project type and tell them that this is the state of affairs with your website, and you are blind to it, and it could be done in a different way.
Right.
So it's more of an advocacy which will help maybe some of the companies think in this direction,
Right.
because most of the people today are interested in more colorful and the sort of a feeling of feeling good and feeling great type
Yeah.
websites, right?
Right. Right.
So it could be worthwhile if some students are asked to do a project, you know,
Yeah.
and tell them that what may be the solution which could be done, not
Right.
giving a sort of open solution. This could be reduced, brought down.
Right. Right. Right.
How to do that and other things, it is for them to think about it, or they can engage on internship of people and other sort of projects related. So that will generate a new awareness and new type of an activity where sensitizing people will be very good. So this
Right.
is one I thought. The
Yeah.
second
Perfect.
thing is that you could immediately, in my view, focus on all these so-called sustainability companies,
Mm.
or
Mm-hmm.
educational institutions,
Mm-hmm.
who teach sustainability, who have website and other things, and do an evaluation and tell them, you people talk of sustainability, your website itself is
Mm.
consuming so much. There is an opportunity to do this. Why don't you attempt it?
Right.
So, this will be an eye opener for them, since mostly people look at it with a view of advertising and getting people, and the sustainability aspects take a back seat. So,
Right.
this is the second thing I thought.
Yeah.
So some of the this thing, so it could be a sort of put as a service type this thing,
Mm.
wherein for normal people, if it is done, so it could be a plus factor for them. Like,
Right.
companies go for some EcoVadis and
Mm.
various other frameworks, to declare
Right.
themselves as sustainability disclosure and various other things they do. So if this is inserted into their evaluation process, it could help them to think differently, because I feel this is something in thing and it's futuristic thing which will have to
Yeah.
be given attention to. So perhaps these two, three things could be done in my view. Now, I had
Okay.
only two more questions. Sorry about it. One
No. No.
is
Yeah. Fine. Mm.
people talk nowadays about the algorithm audit, which
Mm-hmm.
is there. Basically, when you talk of that honesty and
Right.
integrity of information and all, I have just read about it, and I don't know more of this, but there is a focus being given on algorithm audit as to looking at it, who owns the information.
Right.
Is it
Mm-hmm.
the creator? Is it the user? And it gets into the legal implications should any
Mm-hmm.
problem come up.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe something on those lines could be thought of. When you talk of web sustainability, I don't know
Okay. Mm.
where will this algorithm audit process get in
Hmm.
within the purview of the examination part of it. So this is one point.
Hmm.
The other thing is that looking at the technology itself, if we see, for example, when we talk of blockchain as a
Right.
technology, it is being kept out basically because it's being an energy guzzler,
Yeah.
like Ethereum or various other things which are there. They are primarily talking about how to reduce the uh, rather focus on sustainability aspects.
Right.
So this is what I wanted to know was, like, if you look at it, the technology choice itself may be an impediment looking at the sustainability focus, because the
Yeah.
cost benefit analysis, if we do, we
Yeah.
are looking more towards this technology, usage of technology, which itself is
True.
rather not so sustainable compared to maybe a low level technology.
Yeah.
But looking at the benefit of integrity of information and various other things, this security aspects, and so blockchain has some positives.
Right.
So this is some aspect which will have to be, I don't know, maybe given focus when
Right.
the websites are generated in that. And the last
Right.
thing I wanted to tell is I've been user of this railway website.
Right.
Okay, ticket
Mhm.
booking.
Right.
It's, I don't know. I mean, to say that it's one of the horrible
Yes. Yes.
websites
Experience.
with so many pictures, so many things coming up, captcha, and just to book one ticket for a 2 hour travel, you
Yeah.
go through all these things, and I don't know. It will be an interesting study if we do that and find out what is this carbon footprint when millions of fellows are using that.
Yeah.
So they could even look at it in a different way, modularize it. So
Yes.
if
Yes.
it is a travel within West, you have a separate module instead of going through the whole server and doing it. Or if it
Right.
is a travel in the East, and there could be an integration, this thing. So, I mean, this is some thinking process, but that is one. When you talked of all this, I was only remembering that Indian Railway website,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, horrible with so many advertisements and other things. You lose track of where to book and how to go about it.
True. True.
I
True.
mean,
So
these are some of the points, but it was very interesting talk, and thank you. It was
thank you.
real learning, I would say, for me.
Thank you.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Because whatever points you raised are perfectly valid, and because of the time constraint, I was not able to. But IST is always comes to my mind. Example, it's very unsustainable. So many things happening there. It's also not accessible. So a lot can be done there if given a priority. Uh, and about the this thing, just a quick addition. World over it is happening. I just was going to show you this. So this climate action tech where I'm a volunteer. This few of the people worked on this report and they actually found out, as you said, that even climate sector companies' websites are unsustainable, right? So this report is already there, right? So there is a lot of gap with respect to how these websites are developed, even by climate tech companies. So those who are working in the climate sector itself, websites are unsustainable. So yeah, I will share this report also with Dhananjay, and you can share with.
interesting.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
sir, your point, another point. So we have also checked, fortunately or unfortunately, few experts into sustainability. Okay, so someone who has a lot of contacts and a lot of actually representation at the national, international level. So we checked his website. So somehow we were into a discussion for one project. So just for fun, we checked his website. So it was too heavy. So
Not
at
just
the
one,
time,
many just such consultants, and they are not aware. I think that's the problem.
yeah. So
So it's an
that's
awareness issue. Hmm.
So we are not saying that person is at fault, but the awareness is not there. So that's the issue.
And sometimes, Murli sir, you're right. It needs some kind of activism mind. Sometimes it becomes difficult to tell them, oh, sir, because we are talking about some other aspects of sustainability, right? And suddenly I will bring, sir, your website is not. So that is also there. So we are thinking how to communicate this aspect to
No.
people.
What I meant to say is it should not be
Yeah.
pointing fingers type,
Yes.
telling you talk big and here you fail to do that. See, that will
Yeah.
be like you know pinching them.
Mm.
It is a way to tell that the communication part. This is the area which is getting
Yeah.
focused.
Yeah.
And when we look at it, this is what we find. Would you like to give attention to this
Yeah.
also as
True.
an emerging area? Something like that, if some advocacy is done, it will be something good.
Yeah. Something like this
Maybe,
report, maybe come up with a report and share with them, and so that
yes,
they
yes.
realize something like that can be done.
In my
True.
view, it will be a very good project for some of these people who are in this
Yeah.
sustainability area to look at it and make a study of Indian websites,
Yeah.
100 websites of India, large companies,
Right.
and study them and give an idea of this. And that could be something as an eye opener for people.
Right. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Definitely.
Anyway, Dhananjay, we are. I'm done. So if
Yeah.
you
Just
want to.
one last question. Induji has asked, too much write-up and pics make a website heavy. Is that so?
Yes. Write
I
up
guess
text is still, but the problem is we have to think about the process in which the writing has been generated. If the process of generating that writing is through using ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, then you have to consider the entire cost and not just the writing that is emerging on the website. It is the process of way the writing has emerged. Then it is unsustainable. Just the writing might not be, but images, of course, too many images will make it unsustainable if it is just for the sake of having those images. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Yeah. Video takes more space than images, of course. Thanks, Ashok. Because videos is anyway a series of images, so too many images in one.
And for videos also, just for the topic, there are many ways a same video can be, means without compromising quality, it can be of 100 MB and it can be of 15 MB. Huge difference. More than 90%, 95% difference it can make by appropriate changes. Because
And
now I am running the YouTube, so that's how I
yeah.
got to know that the same quality is not that much difference. But sometimes the video gets generated of, let's say, 1 GB till that as well. And we can generate a very small video size as well, and it works really fine. So that is also there.
Dhananjay, we can maybe have digital habits kind of session next time, sometime. About lots of tips we can share about how to reduce our digital consumption.
Yes, of course.
Just to quickly give an idea, like if you are watching a YouTube video on mobile, you don't need HD. You can watch it on 240p also. The quality is the same, unless you're watching text. Then it's not visible. But you can watch a simple video at 240p. It can reduce emissions considerably. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Thank
that's
you.
for today. Anybody would like to share any feedback or any key learning from today's session? I would appreciate if you can share it
I would
here
like
or
to.
in the group.
Yeah,
I would
Induji,
like to just say, Murli sir has definitely opened a great insight. Thank you so much, Murli sir. And definitely, this particular topic it should sensitize and should be advocated. And I come from a sustainable education background at the moment, plus natural bills. But if something that can be, done, I myself would definitely take it to institutes, IT or management, where at least this should be thrown in front of students to see that what are you blindly following or making or learning, and there is more aspect, more greener aspect, more sustainable aspect to think upon. So go out of the box and do it and learn. So I think so this should be done. So
Yeah.
if you are
Sure,
pro in
sure.
this, do it.
Yeah, thank you, Nidhi.
Yeah.
We will reach out to you, me and Dhananjay will send you in. So thank you for this.
Thank you.
Great.
Great.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
Dhananjay, you can close. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can close, but I would appreciate your feedback in the WhatsApp group if you can post. That would be really motivating for me and others as well. But it was really wonderful session, and all of you are active more than 1 hour 15 minutes. So it tells about your perseverance. So kudos for all of you for your wonderful energy. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Siddhesh, for this
Yeah.
insightful session.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night.
Night. Bye.